Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Friday evening.
As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Diana Master.
And I am Glenn Rashipura. I almost cut you off. Very, very sorry on my end. Now let's get into what you can expect in today's broadcast. In the news tonight, James Nupé, head of the Namibian Green Hydrogen Program, has announced that Hyphen Hydrogen Namibia has secured funding for the 24% government equity stake in partnership with SDG Namibia 1. Now, according to Nupé, feasibility activities are scheduled to commence in the first quarter of 2024, with over 30% of the requisite funding already mobilized from external sources. Hyphen has secured funding for the 24.1% government equity stake in partnership with SDG Namibia 1. Feasibility activities are scheduled to commence in the first quarter of 2024, with over 30% of the requisite funding already mobilized from external sources. Strategic economic diplomacy efforts have attracted 30 million euros from the European Investment Bank, representing more than 2/3 of the feasibility budget, Nupé announced recently. Now, he also announced that a letter of intent has been executed with the Maersk Mckinney Møller Center for Zero Carbon Shipping to develop green maritime corridors, and that this collaboration aims to establish Namibia as a preferred logistics hub on a global map, minimizing emissions through a systemic pre-feasibility study. Nupé added that the green industrialization agenda, in collaboration with the Ministry of Industrialization, Trade and SME Development and the Ministry of Finance and Public Enterprises, the program has identified 8 potential new industries. This includes solar panel and wind turbine assembly, critical raw minerals value addition, synthetic fuel production, and hot briquetted iron production. Preliminary estimates suggest the creation of 26,000 jobs and over $1.3 billion of gross value added by 2030. Now, according to him, this proposal will be submitted to Cabinet in early 2024. They have also finalized the appointment of the executive team that will guide the Namibian Green Hydrogen Program, comprising of 7 exceptional individuals bringing a wealth of experience, with 5 members being highly skilled women with a combined total of 130 years of global work experience. Nupé also highlighted that the Youth for Green Hydrogen Scholarships program has identified 90 deserving candidates who will be granted scholarships out of a pool of 40,000 applications.
Sorry, Dan, that is 4,000 applications.
I'm sorry, yeah, 4,000 applications. Yes, exactly. That was a lot, though.
It was, and only 90 were selected. But it's also good to see that on the board they do have 5 very experienced women. So it's great to see that women are officially starting to take charge. And yes, I mean, it's great news indeed. And the fact that also scholars can benefit from the scholarships.
You know, the Green Hydrogen Program is deemed a very ambitious project. And some skeptics say it might not be, feasible. But, we're seeing it progressing, and we're seeing, some benefits, and especially the youth reaping the benefits. So I want to see how it's, going to develop in the future.
How it will come to fruition.
Exactly, yes. So I definitely am looking forward to this. It looks like an exciting times for Namibia. And for a lot of people that can benefit from this. I mean, 26,000 jobs, that's a lot.
That is a lot. But like you're saying, because people are deeming it overzealous and over ambitious, we are going to be waiting to see how the whole plan unfolds and how they are willing to execute it. Now, getting into our next story, after years of struggling to access healthcare services in Inanna town, the residents of Ohainingena village in the Oangwena region can now breathe a sigh of relief as they receive a 6-kilometer gravel road moving away from the hard-to-navigate Sandy Road. Village headman Festus Paulus applauded Roads Authority through the leadership of former Oangwena Governor Valdende Vashia, whom he said heard their plea after so many years of submitting requests that the village needed a proper road for easy access to Ohainingena Junior Primary School. Paula said even those with small cars can now access the village, which he believes will provide a myriad of opportunities for the villagers. Other roads constructed in the area are the Epinga Onakalunga Road, Omolondo Oshuli, and Omakukutu Ombokola. Yes.
Wow. I think this is, we need roads, and especially it's good. It's great.
I think roads are one of those things that because we have them and because we see them on a daily basis, they're the norm.
Yes, exactly. But you
Right.
don't see that, especially in rural areas, that there's still some developments that needs to be done to make things easier for everybody, to make traveling easier. Because I know some people spend a lot of money because there's not proper infrastructures just to move about in the villages. And when you put such measures in place, you make things easier for the community there. So I'm kudos to them.
Kudos to them, definitely. All right, that brings us to the end of our top stories. Now in our Community Talk segment, the government brings ploughing services to Omusati farmers. The full story coming up after the break.
Enjoy the season's best prices all month long at Woermann-Brock. 2-liter farmhouse ice cream for $44.99. 1-liter fruit tree juice for just $18.99. 2-liter Coca-Cola Original for just $19.99. 2-liter WB cooking oil for only $64.99. And 2 kg Sky hand wash powder for $39.99. See all our specials online at www.woermannbrock.com.
Now getting into our community talk, Omusati Governor Ergenius Njala this week launched the Tolongeni project to encourage farmers to increase agricultural productivity in the region and attain food security. Alongside launching the project, Njala also received 42 mechanical tractors and an additional 26 working tractors from the Ministry of Agriculture to boost the farmers' efforts. He told the gathering that Tolongeni is not a new project, but it could not take off in its inception years due to the COVID-19 outbreak, during which people could not gather in numbers. The project aims to increase productivity and also to make sure that we secure ourselves in terms of food supply by producing more and having a surplus to send to the market. Now, the problem has always been that we do not have enough implements, tractors, seeds, and many others, Njala said. He said the efforts by the ministry to hand over the tractors are proof that they are mechanizing the agricultural sector in the country, which he said shows the seriousness of the government when it comes to food production. Njala said the tractors will be made accessible to the people as the region has 12 constituencies with 106 villages. Tractors will be divided amongst constituencies based on the population density of each. In the previous years, Njala said the region had 1 tractor per constituency. Now we will have a minimum of 5 at a maximum of 6 per constituency for the mechanical tractors, and the working tractors are supplementary. Now, the constituency councillors with their developmental committees have to sit with the traditional authorities and come up with their program so that the distribution is fair and addresses challenges, he urged. Now, Njala said government services do not discriminate and the region's inhabitants must share amongst themselves the services provided to make drought relief history in the region. Now, we'll be back to make assessments. If all of us aim to make sure that 85% of our field is put under production, literally we're saying no more drought relief in the Omusati region. Wow, this is good news, especially coming during the festive season. Knowing that your next year is almost sorted. If you depend on the agricultural side of things, you need these services, you need help.
And not just that, Namibia is a country that imports a lot. As a result, food prices are through the roof, and we've seen the cost of living go up. There was a time on Smell the Coffee, Stacey Pinto from the Namibia Trade Forum joined us and told us that during COVID-19, like when the COVID-19 pandemic first struck, Namibia's food reserves were severely limited. And we didn't even know that, right? But them from the Namibia Trade Forum, they were scrambling to find ways because we are so reliant on importing. But with programs like these, we can become self-reliant and we can produce our own food and again, not everyone can get a job, but everyone can make a living from agriculture.
And I think it also, you know, ease the pockets, the consumer pockets.
Exactly.
Because when we're importing food and with the inflation and everything that's happening, you know, food prices is rising. So if we can start buying from, you know, the locals, that would help all of us. So this is really great initiatives. I want to see that in more regions, not only the Umusati region, but, you know, all over the country. So
definitely. Now, after the break, according to Economic News, identity fraud rises in Namibia. We dive into the full story right after this.
We've always had the bravery to stand up for what is Namibian. From protecting our homes to fighting injustices, we still celebrate what it means to us and raise a glass to those who show their bravery. No matter how they take on the world, with all this potential in the land of the brave, what will you do to make this Namibia your Namibia?
Getting straight into economic news, identity fraud rates have risen sharply from last year, the SUMSUD Identity Fraud Report 2023 shows. Although currently only 0.83%, the identity fraud rate in Namibia has jumped from 0.59% in 2022. In 2021, the figure was 0.56%. According to the SUMSUD report, Namibia this year had the 13th lowest identity fraud rate in Africa. Guinea, with 12.04%, topped the continental list. According to SUMSUD, a verification platform that helps businesses across the world monitor fraud, artificial intelligence is being used for both malign and legitimate activity at increasing rates. The rise of artificial intelligence is reshaping how fraud is perpetrated and prevented. AI serves as both powerful tool both for anti-fraud solution providers and those committing identity fraud. Organizations and individuals must navigate this complex terrain with caution, staying vigilant in the face of AI-driven threats, SUMSUD said. According to the report, the top 5 identity fraud types this year were AI-powered fraud, mainly deepfakes, money-mulling networks, fake IDs, account takeovers, as well as forced verification.
And again, we reiterate the question that we mentioned yesterday. You know, how do we monitor AI? What are the policies in place? Because as much as it was a tool created for good, we are seeing every day more and more how it's more harmful than good. So yes,
I definitely agree. AI is a powerful tool when used correctly,
yes, exactly.
But it is a destructive tool when used incorrectly. So again, those things of trying to figure out, there's a very thin line.
And it's very destructive, like very, very destructive.
And there's a very thin line between using it for good and using it for evil.
Yes, I mean, yesterday it was a case of identity theft, I guess,
yes.
Where we saw the musician Cardi B alleging that her image was used to promote a company that she was not even affiliated with. She didn't sign any contract with them, and they were using her face to, you know, to promote their brand, which is really sad, you know, and this is more and more cases of just how AI needs to be regulated. I think we don't have proper regulations around AI, and we need to put them in place. I don't think it should just be out in the world without these regulations in place. And I don't like that they put it out into the world, and now we're starting to see, oh wait, we didn't think this through.
And because everyone has access to it,
exactly,
how you use it and how I use it are going to be completely different.
Exactly.
You're the one telling me yesterday that there was a company that was advertising to say we can help you cheat on your exams. So I mean, like you're saying, definitely we need to find a way to regulate AI to make sure that it is used and to make sure there are some sort of serious consequences for people that use it in a destructive manner.
I would hate to hear that my face was used in something, you know, malicious.
Not your face. I mean, for us, especially as television presenters, our faces, our voices are out there
Yes.
for everyone, right? And anyone can basically pull our images and our faces, make us say things that we never said.
Exactly.
And no one will know that it is AI because AI is becoming increasingly convincing.
Apparently, deepfakes are so good.
Yes.
Are so good. And it's also being, like you said, it's being used for malicious agenda, and who knows what a criminal would want to use my face
I
for.
mean, before we get to the financial indicators, because we are running out of time, there was a case of a mom who was blackmailed using her daughter's face and voice, where basically the deep fake was telling her that she had been kidnapped and that she needed to pay the ransom fee.
And she would hear, and
She would see.
and
It was
hear
a
her.
video call with her face and her voice. It was a deep fake, only for her to go home and realize her daughter was at home this entire time.
Wow. That is crazy and scary.
Yes.
Well, next up is our financial indicators. Let's get into that. The Namibia dollar trades against the British pound at 23.34, against the euro at 20.27. 2 Namibian dollars and 58 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went up, with Brent crude oil trading at 0.02%, going for $77 and 38 cents per barrel.
All right, after the break, we bring you international news from the rest of the globe. Heading straight into our international news, Chinese smartphone giant Xiaomi on Thursday offered a teasing glimpse of its first electric vehicle as it launched its EV technology in Beijing, with the company boldly setting its sights on becoming one of the world's leading auto manufacturers. At the event in the Chinese capital, Xiaomi founder, chairman and CEO Lei Jun unveiled some of the firm's latest technologies, ranging from electric motors and batteries to intelligent driving and smart cabins. After revealing the very first images of the SU7, Xiaomi's first EV, Lei announced the company's ambitious goal of becoming one of the world's top 5 automakers over the next couple of decades. Xiaomi has said it expects to spend 20 billion yuan, about $2.8 billion in research and development this year, up by 25% from 2022, as it looks to accelerate its aims. And Lei was in a buoyant mood as he spoke on stage about how the company will achieve its vision. What are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I need to see it. I need to see it.
I mean, going from
People
being a
say-
smartphone manufacturer to
Yes.
being a car maker,
I mean, guys, come on. Can you know
it's
what
a
I'm
bit of
saying?
a leap.
Yeah, it's a bit of a leap, and that's what I'm saying. We need to see how it progresses. Maybe he has a vision that we can't see, and he can lead the company and be a successful, car maker.
Definitely, because
But let's
also
see, yeah.
we're seeing Chinese car makers, they're leading now in terms of, automobiles. Chinese vehicles are taking center stage more and more. We're seeing more and more of them in the African market, and we're seeing how good they actually are. So, but like I said, going from being a smartphone manufacturer to being, it's a very big jump, but we are looking forward to seeing what Xiaomi has in store for us.
Through dedicated efforts over the next couple of decades, Lei also announced Xiaomi's ambitious goal to become one of the world's top 5 automakers.
Creating a good-looking, easy-to-use, comfortable, and safe smart mobile space is the goal we want to improve on. This goal is actually not easy to achieve. I've known from the first day that there's only one way, which is to start from the fundamental core technology.
Xiaomi has pledged to invest over 10 billion yuan, more than $1 billion in the first phase of research and development. Lei highlighted the importance of Xiaomi's smart cabin tech and its ecosystem. He also addressed the concerns about the performance of electric car batteries in winter, a leading concern for many EV users.
Xiaomi prioritizes research and development into batteries. We've also built our own electronic factory to guarantee their performance and quality.
Xiaomi joins other tech giants like Huawei and Baidu, which have also ventured into the rapidly growing Chinese EV market. Officials say China leads the world in automotive and EV sales, with battery-powered vehicles accounting for about 60% of global sales. This success is also spreading globally. Chinese brands have accounted for about 8% of new EVs sold in Europe in 2023, up from 6% last year. Expanding their business into the sector could pose a challenge, but the recent moves by Chinese tech giants shed light on the huge opportunities in the country's vast EV market. Gaolang CGTN, Beijing.
All right, we'll now be taking a look at the weather predictions with Glenn Rashipura.
Let's get into our weather predictions for tomorrow. Katima Mulilo can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. Rokana can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. Hendy's Bay can expect sunny weather with a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 21 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth can also expect sunny weather with a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius.
Stick around for sports news coming up after the break.
From the day you were born and welcomed until your pensioner years on this earth, your life is filled with changes and phases. What mattered the most at age 10 may be an unknown memory at 25. The heartbreak at 16 may be replaced with wedding bells at 27. The degree you've always wanted or starting your career business may come true at age 30. And the dream to own your own home may come to realization at age 50. Whatever stage you find yourself in, whatever matters right now, Standard Bank has what you need to bank like you. Choose your own path. Choose endless possibilities. Standard Bank, it can be.
Let's head straight into our sports news. The Brave Warriors of Namibia traveled to Ghana yesterday to camp ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations competition, which will take place in Ivory Coast. While in Ghana, they will face club team Legon Cities FC on the 2nd of January in a friendly match. The club is 8th on the First Capital Plus Premier League log after 16 games.
Moving on, Arsenal fumbled the opportunity to retake first place in the Premier League as they lost 2-0 to fellow Londoners West Ham United at the Emirates on Thursday. West Ham only had 3 efforts on target, but Thomas Susek gave them a half-time lead before former Arsenal defender Konstantinos Mavropanos extended the advantage after the break. Arsenal had more than twice as many chances but failed to take any as the visitors defended gamely. Second-placed Arsenal remain on 40 points, 2 behind Liverpool, who beat Burnley 2-0 on Tuesday.
Now, South Africa coach Shukri Conrad revealed his frustration on Thursday over his players being underrated following an innings and 32-run win over #1 ranked India in the first test in Centurion, with opening batsman Dean Elgar, who will retire after the 2-test series, scoring 185 and Marco Jansen making a career-best 84 not out. South Africa took their first innings score to 408 for a 163-run lead on their third day. Their pacemen then bundled India out for just 131 and 34.1 overs, with only Virat Kohli resisting their surge to victory. South Africa have won 3 tests in a row following his appointment as Red Bull national coach at the start of the year, ending a 5-match winless streak.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you for joining us for our very last sunset for the year on the very last Friday of the year. From me, Glenn Rashipura.
And me, Diana Master. This has been Sunset News. Don't end your day or year without us.